Welcome everyone to our session entitled Powerful Solutions for a Complex Environment.
A lot of content can fall under that title. I hope we're talking about taxes and not security of internet or my two teenagers.
No, we can steer clear of that. We are definitely sticking with the topic that you and I are the most passionate about, and that is tax. But before we kick off, maybe let's spend a couple minutes just introducing ourselves to our audience. Sona, why don't you go first?
Great idea. I'm Sona Akmakjian, Global Head of Strategic Accounting Partnership. And yes, I am quite passionate about my taxes. I fell into the area of transactional taxes 30 years ago and have been enjoying myself ever since. I'm a California CPA and have worked for or with accounting firms of different sizes. I now have an exciting job of working with accounting firms, helping them grow and streamline their business, leveraging technology.
Fantastic. And I am Liz Armbruester, the Senior Vice President of Global Compliance by title, and a bit of a self-professed automation, process improvement, and overall tax nerd by trade. I have been in the technology space for over 20 years in a variety of industries, including semiconductors, medicine, media, and now tax. And I really enjoy solving complex problems with fun and interesting people like Sona. So the tax space is right up my alley. Now that you know a little bit about Sona and me, I'd love to get this going with a statement of truth.
Sounds good.
And this one might be a little bit tough. It's a difficult truth. Your clients' compliance needs are becoming more complex, but I think you already know that. They are demanding more services, more research, and more expertise. And as an accounting professional, you want to provide these compliance services, but it can be a low margin and high risk business. Approximately 50% of firms don't even offer sales and use tax filing services because the cost to prepare and file returns exceeds the profit.
But it doesn't have to be a high risk, low margin business. There's so many tools available to accountants today that they can be profitable, they can be efficient.
You're exactly right. And I also want to say that I know that small businesses struggle to get compliance right, and they spend so much time and energy in their attempts at it. According to a survey conducted by CPA Trendlines in the first part of 2021, 39.37%, almost 40% of accountants surveyed, believed that their small business clients were mostly not in full compliance with their collection and the remittance requirements. And again, almost another 40%, 38.95 specifically said only some of their small business clients were in compliance. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, to me, it means there's a lot of small businesses that should be investing a lot more time and effort in their compliance obligations. However, I also think they'd rather be spending time on activities that drive sales and ultimately profit for their business. What does that mean for you? It means there's a lot of businesses out there that are ready to become your clients.
And it's actually the small business that needs the most help. They may be small, but in today's environment, even small businesses have the complexity of larger ones.
That's exactly right. All right, now that we've grounded ourselves in the complexity of the tax landscape and the fact that clients are spending a lot of time doing compliance work when they'd rather be doing other productive revenue-generating tasks, let's spend a little bit of time talking about some tax-specific trends that we know are impacting accountants around the globe. These are things like digitalization, e-invoicing, audits, and technology integration as an efficiency driver.
And then we're going to spend some time talking about how to tackle tax complexity leveraging automation efficiently. And we'll talk about what else Avalara is planning for accounting practices.
Okay, let's get into this. Sona, I got a question for you. Have you ever heard of the acronym VUCA?
Ironically, I have. It stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous.
Exactly. And our tax environment is all four of those things in varying degrees all of the time. And we know that you feel that also, and we feel your pain. The demands are increasing, the cost to support clients are increasing, and in fact, when you take a step back, the entire ecosystem is changing rapidly. We know that many of you are struggling to keep up with the rate of change and somehow still create a profitable business. While technology continues to evolve, and it arguably does solve for a lot of the challenges, And we will talk about some of those solutions. At first, I want to talk about some overarching trends. I think we should explore those first.
Let's get to those.
Perfect. Okay, trend number 1, digitalization. It's a word everybody hears everywhere all the time. From our devices in our homes, to our cars, to the way we shop, everything's going digital. And of course, COVID, thank you, gave us a nice push forward in many segments like e-commerce. However, digital transformation of business continues to even pick up pace, accelerate, and cloud technology is central to its pace. We are an increasingly distributed workforce. Many businesses are taking a digital-first approach in order to ensure that their productivity levels keep pace with everything that's happening around them. Many accountants have managed their own shift to the cloud and simultaneously enabled their clients to do exactly the same. And let's not leave out governments. Global governments are responding to this digital shift as well. And they're also adding requirements like live reporting as they seek transparency into their revenue streams. But oftentimes, and you all likely know this, digitalization or the transformation from a point A to point B can be really tough. It's a bumpy road. So regardless of the challenge, the fact remains that technology is transforming compliance. The accounting community, all of you are in a really unique position to help transition businesses forward through digitalization and exposing some of maybe the slower to adopt companies to new technologies through your very own practices and thus creating more equal access to technology.
So just to summarize, engaging in your own firm's acceleration to cloud technologies is an effective way for you to learn how to help your clients' transformations.
That's exactly right. Okay, trend number 2 is e-invoicing. It might be a term you know, maybe it's not, so let's define it. Electronic invoicing in its very simplest terms is just that, an electronic invoicing generated for the purposes of documenting a transaction between businesses. It could be between business and government. It could be between business and consumer. However, the access to the electronic invoice, the point in time that the access occurs is what's changing, and that's what we want to talk about today. Our international community might know a little bit more about this, might be more familiar with the term than our North American counterparts because the regulatory obligations for e-invoicing or electronic invoicing in the US are just beginning.
But it's making its way to the US as well. Reality is there's 3 states in the US who are currently exploring some form of real-time financial reporting: California, Massachusetts, and Florida.
Okay, so we're in the first inning in the US. At the same time, more and more countries globally are implementing mandatory e-invoicing or digital reporting requirements. And these requirements differ significantly between countries. They have different standards, they have different formats, they have diverse data fields that are required, as well as different processes relating to how the invoice and its data are then shared with the tax authorities and received by customers. However, the majority of the EU countries are now moving forward with implementing this mandatory electronic invoicing. It could be for business to government, as I said, or maybe it's B2B. Some are launching pilot programs, and others are bringing new legislation forward for electronic invoicing in the next 12 to 24 months. So it's a really rapidly changing type of environment.
We just talked about digitalization and e-invoicing. What's going on with the audit world? Is technology transforming the audit space as well?
So glad you asked. Trend number 3, audit. Let's talk about this. It is clear that regardless of how and when tax authorities ingest the transaction and the tax data, they too are also leveraging the power of digitalization. Many tax authorities have completed, or maybe they're in the process of their own transformation projects, and that enables them to analyze more data more rapidly than ever before. Why do they want to do this? Well, pretty obvious. They want to spot some errors. They want to make sure that they're collecting the revenue that's due. And this can happen real time. It can happen near real time, so just post the point of transaction, as well as during an audit. And of course, it's also enabling tax authorities to highlight and profile high-risk taxpayers, figure out where they're making errors, maybe just overall omissions and even fraud. And the tax authority's ability to harness technologies like AI and other tech to look at these vast sets of data will quickly continue to evolve as technology as a whole accelerates. All right, we have made it. Our final and last trend, trend number 4, technology integration. Everybody's talking about tech stacks these days, and sometimes I'm not always sure what it means, so let's just define it. The tech stack, it's actually pretty simple. The tech stack is just a combination of technologies that a company uses to build and run an application or a project. It's often referred to as a solution stack, same thing. So tech stack, solution stacks, simply technologies you choose to utilize in your firm. It could be for tax, accounting software, it could be for bill pay, it could be for payroll, forecasting, audit management, all of which that have a specific purpose. And it's wonderful that all of this technology exists and that it can automate multiple functions that you otherwise would have to do manually every day. It's even better that more solutions are being developed, solving more business problems, and doing so with higher performance and often at a lower cost. Okay, so what? Here's something to consider though. If all the tech solutions only needed to operate kind of in their own vertical, it wouldn't be a problem. But the fact is that's not actually what happens. They often have to be interoperable. So if an accounting firm needs that interoperability, they may not have the necessary expertise to figure out exactly how to do that. Sometimes you get those resources from the solution stack, sometimes you don't. But here's what I want to share. At Avalara, we are focused on, of course, making compliance accurate and easy, but that also includes making the integrations easy. So we're thinking technology forward. And this type of development goes beyond the features, and it allows other developers, partners, et cetera, to innovate around our platform, making integration into that functionality, which is easy and accurate, just so much easier.
So the takeaway here is not what the specific tech stack does, but it's how it integrates with other solutions. Because if it doesn't talk to each other and integrate, you're not being effective.
Exactly. That's exactly right. You've got to be able to do both. And so, you know, as we think about that, and you in the accounting community are thinking about new technologies that you're adopting, it's really important to think about both the features and the interoperability.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, are you ready to transition away from some trend chat and get into actual solutioning?
Oh, boy, am I ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Okay.
I certainly am. Having worked with multiple accounting firms, I can tell you I've been where you are. I understand the many, many challenges that you are facing. But you know what? I also understand the opportunity it presents to you. Considering all the substantial challenges we've been talking about today, particularly as you are constantly asked by your clients to do more and more services, accounting practices need to be forward-thinking. You need to think globally to actively determine how your firm will approach this new reality.
So I am really eager to understand this. How does Avalara support our accountants?
Avalara continues to make significant investments in Avalara for Accountant Solutions, some of which are new, and we're excited to unveil for you today. You can count on us to be the key partner, helping you leverage technology to scale and add efficiency to your growing business. So some of you may wonder, what is Avalara for Accountants? It is a way for you to leverage Avalara's proven cloud technology that is secure and scalable to better serve your clients. You need to know that our dedicated team of experts' sole job is to research rates, rules, and forms. They're all standing right behind you. Our objective is to bring service provider-specific automation to you. And it's not only to scale your existing business, but it's also to help drive new service lines for you. These solutions are now available to accountants globally.
Okay, so what do we offer today?
Well, mid-2021, we launched these 4 products. We have 2 flavors of sales and use tax filing services, depending on the firm's specific needs. We basically enable you to leverage the very same platform that Avalara used to file over 3.1 million returns in 2020, allowing you to automate, grow, and scale. Honestly, the level automation we provide is like no other, giving you the workflow management, the visibility you need to support multiple clients.
And I think, Sona, according to an ROI study conducted for Avalara earlier just this year, a top 50 accounting firm achieved an unbelievable 88% decrease in their file and prep time when they leveraged Avalara's solution.
Yes.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It truly is. Let's talk about business license management. This is yet another highly complicated and manual process for many firms, but it's so essential to businesses. Avalara's license management for accountants allows you to easily have access to the research to really identify where your clients need to register, and also it provides a service provider-specific platform that can easily manage the process for your clients. Tax research, the last item on our list here. This continues to be a very complicated area as global regulatory changes are difficult and changing, and they're pretty dynamic. Tax research is so fundamental to providing advisory services. Avalara offers tax research to accountants globally, which has deep content organized in a very logical fashion with useful summary information. Reality is sometimes you just need an answer and you need it fast. This tool enables you to quickly get to the right answer, helping you increase not only the accuracy, but also the margins on your services. But we didn't stop there. We're excited to launch 2 additional solutions for you today: transfer pricing reports for accountants, and also Avalara returns for accountants for energy and tobacco.
So Sona, I'm really curious, why transfer pricing reports?
That's a great question. Businesses continue to expand globally, and international tax rules are really complicated. Due to this complexity, companies are looking to their accountants to help navigate transfer pricing documentation requirements on their intercompany transactions. This solution is designed to support the accountant professional, even if you aren't a transfer pricing expert. We're also excited to launch Avalara Returns for Energy and Tobacco. Accountants can now file fuel, tobacco, and vape returns for their clients with accuracy and efficiency.
Sounds amazing. And I know you've got more. I want to hear more about this. I mean, there's so much complexity behind this. Tell us what else is going on with these 2 new products.
Excellent. So let me tell you a little bit more about the Avalara Transfer Pricing Reports for Accountants. It was designed by accountants for accountants, providing you with the tools and expertise you need to meet not only the US, but the OECD transfer pricing documentation requirements. The way it works is that it combines the predetermined and fixed benchmarks with a self-guided questionnaire, giving the firms the control and the visibility needed to deliver efficient and profitable value-added services. To enable accuracy, what Avalara has done is we have transfer pricing reports for 17 fixed benchmarks to address the most common, repetitive, and low-risk intercompany transactions. And these benchmarks are based on recognized databases used by global tax authorities and are fixed to create objective market standards.
Amazing. So we've developed a tool. You're telling me it's simple to use. It's one that specifically adheres to all of those regulatory environment or regulations that you just rattled off, and it promotes lower compliance costs, and it improves your margin. Yeah?
You got it.
Okay.
Yes,
amazing.
Indeed. Our objective is to simplify the complicated. And Avalara Transfer Pricing Reports for Accountants is generated in really 3 simple steps. First, the data is collected using intuitive and dynamic self-guided, self-paced questionnaire. 2, Avalara will review your client's report to identify any inconsistencies that could potentially be red flags during a tax audit. And finally, the report is generated so you can view your client's final reports and share it with them. Accounting firms now have an automated solution to meet the client's unique needs and grow their own services, offering transfer pricing in 3 simple steps.
I don't know that it gets much more simple than that. That's pretty great.
It is. Avalara Returns for Energy and Tobacco is a service provider platform that automates the generation of signature-ready excise tax returns for fuel, tobacco, and vape. This is yet another complex area that is highly regulated and constantly changing.
Yeah, so going back to our prior comment, talk about VUCA.
Sure applies here, doesn't it?
It does.
This solution enables scalability and growth by making it easier to support new clients, new service lines, jurisdictions. So it's pretty exciting.
All right, so we've got existing solutions. Just talked about these 2 new ones we just launched. Tell me what's coming around the corner.
We're still not stopping here. Our vision is bold and extends way beyond these solutions, with future plans to support other exciting compliance areas with global reach. Our goal is to deploy powerful solutions for complex environments. In other words, to simplify the compliance complexities with automation so you can better serve your clients globally. This can help you grow your business by scaling and adding new service lines. In other words, be profitable. You can now say yes to your clients and be the trusted advisor who can serve their end-to-end needs. In an increasingly complex environment, the need for automation is unavoidable. No matter where you are or where your clients are doing business, allow Avalara to focus on technology while you focus on your clients.
Sona, great conversation. I love the fact that we could cover trends today. We could talk about the challenges and complexities of tax while also getting deep on our existing new solutions, and also talk about what's coming around the corner. Really exciting stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.